Hello, welcome to Business Reporter's The Best of British campaign. I'm Ashley Blake. Protecting people, property and assets is both a necessity and a significant investment. We're living in a world of high risk and everyone is searching for the most effective security solution and one that also delivers real value. But what does that actually look like? Today we're speaking to Ben Howard from Orbis Protect. Orbis Protect, a recipient of Business Reporter's Best of British Award, is a UK-based company known for its bespoke security solutions and rapid response capability. Ben, Orbis Protect, what are you protecting?
We protect customers' vulnerable assets, and they can be vulnerable for a variety of reasons. They could be vulnerable because they are high value, it could be a person who's working alone, it could be something that is under threat. So our job is to provide bespoke solutions to protect those assets. So those risks and threats can change over a period of time. So if I give you an example of a typical construction site, the biggest risk might be intrusion, it might be subject to protest, it could be vandalism, antisocial behaviour, theft, or compliance from a health and safety point of view. Our job is to come up with solutions that can identify what the risks are, what the needs of the customer are in terms of what they want protecting, how they want it to be protected, and what their priorities are. So we will assess a site at the start to determine those risks and those priorities, and then we'll continue to assess the site on an ongoing basis. The solutions that we deploy are a mixture of physical, technology and people security that are fully integrated. So that covers things like perimeter fencing, temporary perimeter fencing and hoarding, through to steel sheets and shuttering, through to bollards. People incorporates alarm response, property inspections, as well as our more technical security in residence specialist service.
Ben, perhaps you could demonstrate your solutions for us.
Sure. What we have here is a construction site or a vacant property site. The fundamental thing that a project manager or a site manager wants to happen or wants to prevent happening is people who shouldn't be coming on to their site coming onto their site.
Right.
So perimeter protection is the first critical element of protection.
I see, so there's the fence going up there.
We provide temporary fencing and temporary hoarding solutions through our specialist organisation, which is Panthera. Firstly, it's fully modular. Secondly, it's very, very sturdy and robust. The third aspect to mention is its environmental credentials. So compared to, say, a traditional wood boarding system, this is much, much lower carbon.
I see. Okay, so that's the fence, that's perimeter fence. We're nice and secure now. What are we looking at next?
Well, now we've secured the perimeter, we then of course have to think about how people get into the site, where we might have a smart gate or barrier, which might be for vehicles. We also supply and install our own biometric turnstiles. So the entry is via fingerprint or facial recognition, and very often these systems are then integrated into customers' HR and time and attendance systems, so they have a fully integrated solution. And if we go to the centre of this site, we've got our CCTV tower. It's looking for risk points of theft or compliance or whatever those things might be. But we also consider it to be what we call the brains of a site. So it is connecting the other technology and security measures around the site, from alarm systems to access management systems to other IoT devices. So it can all be linked into the tower, so it's controlling everything that's going on the site. And you have to remember that most of our sites are operating in a no power and no Wi-Fi environment. So everything is battery powered, solar powered, and operating over the mobile network. So we've developed now our technology where we have uptime consistently over 98%, which is market leading. We then have an alarm system, and we typically will put alarms and cameras in areas of high risk. And then all of our technology is then being monitored on our AI enabled platform, and that's something we've developed ourselves. And that's very different to the rest of the market. What our AI does, it will look at specific risks that it sees on a site and give it a dynamic risk score. So it will, and that is driven by the parameters that are agreed with the customer. So if you have got a camera looking for antisocial behavior, for example, then if the AI sees somebody with a spray can, or it looks as though somebody's about to fly tip, it will risk score that higher, and then there is an automated response which is agreed with the customer, which could be a message through a voice box on site, or it could be sending somebody to that particular location to stop that event happening. So it gives customers that automated capability. All of that site, though, is then being monitored by our own alarm receiving centre. It can be directly connected to police dispatch and emergency response dispatch in the event that that is required. But also our alarm receiving centre will then talk to our alarm responders, but also increasingly to specialist security and residence protection officers who are resident on site. And those guys, we partner with ex-British military Gurkhas, typically 2 to 3 in a team who stay on site working alongside the technology to be able to respond to the technology as it comes about. And that's a very effective and cost-effective solution for a customer. It monitors and protects up to 100,000 people 24/7, 365. And those people are our customers' employees as well as our own employees. And they're being monitored because, possibly they are at risk because of the type of job that they do, or they might be working alone, or it might just be because the world's not a very nice place sometimes, but they have that confidence that our alarm receiving centre is with them all of the time, giving them that reassurance and protection.
It all sounds very expensive to run in terms of the power. I know you touched on it earlier, but is it sustainable?
All of our CCTV towers are solar powered. The key to solar power is in its deployment. So as long as you deploy it in the right way, you have good solar panels and your systems are configured to operate in a low power environment, then solar power works incredibly well in this environment and is clearly very, very sustainable.
And what if I run a business with assets in a remote area?
We deliver solutions to businesses of all sizes, in all sectors, and in lots of different places. We're delivering solutions for wind farms in the north of Scotland, to industrial units in Birmingham, to vacant commercial property in central London. So regardless of what your project, your sector, your location is, then we will be able to have a tailored solution to meet your needs.
Can it be broken down into parts? Do I have to have all of it, or could I have parts of it?
We all live in a world where budget, comes into play. So we will demonstrate to customers and give them optionality of different levels of security. There might be a recommended level, and then there's other levels dependent upon budget. You don't have to take all of these aspects, but we will work with a customer to understand their budget and what the most effective security solution across physical, people and technology is for that site, and then continue to monitor that on an ongoing basis. And of course, if our own data, internally and external data points, demonstrate that actually risk on a site has changed, then we'll tell customers that actually we think that we can change the solution, and that might mean that it scales back, or at other times it might scale up.
And Ben, who are the experts? Where do you get your expertise from Orbis?
Our expertise essentially come from 2 places. We employ and invest in fantastic people in our business, and most businesses will say they've got fantastic people. I understand that, but for us it's particularly pertinent and particularly relevant because we deliver over 90% of services ourselves. So the underpin of our success and our operational delivery is reliant on our people. We're not reliant on other people. And we have recruited fantastically well over recent years across all aspects of the business, from operations, sales, technology to the back office teams, and from board down. And we've recruited from within the security sector and from outside. But also, I'm really proud that within the business, we have been very successful at promoting from within. From people who joined the business 30 plus years ago who started their journey by working on a van, working on the tools, and are now in senior management positions in the business, to people who have joined us through acquired businesses more recently. And when you acquire a business, you're also acquiring very often fantastic talent. And I'm really pleased to say we've been able to promote lots of people from acquired businesses into group roles, and they are doing fantastically well. And we've also more recently launched the Orbis Academy, which is a framework for accelerating people's skills to develop their careers within Orbis, and that has now enabled us in the last 12 months to fill over 50% of all of the roles we had to fill through internal promotion, which is a fantastic achievement. Our expertise also, though, comes from our acquired businesses. In the last 3 years, we've acquired 5 businesses who all meet our growth strategy, and that growth strategy has been to develop our customer base and expand the verticals that we operate in. It's been to enhance our technology capabilities as a business, to broaden our product and service portfolio, and also to expand our international presence.
Ben Howard, CEO of Orbis Protect.